So we'll do a quick video recap before I can do much else. But that'll give me a chance to show you the latest mad science taking place on the GT6. I took the intake manifold off. Carburetors were leaking everywhere, so they were going to need to be rebuilt anyway. We got it to breathe some fire, and now we're going to start cleaning up, painting the motor, probably work on getting an exhaust roughed in, get rid of all the emissions stuff, simplify the water pump, and make everything pretty and shiny. Alright, we've got our intake manifold right here. It's got dual Stromberg carburetors on it. We kind of rigged up some fuel line to get the motor running. A couple things I don't like about this manifold. We're running hot water over the top of the manifold, so there's a coolant line that passes through it. I believe they did it for emissions reasons, but we don't need to do that anymore. It's a pretty neat manifold. It's all aluminum. You've got your, equal length runners coming into the two dual carburetors. Carburetors aren't in terrible shape, but they're going to need to be rebuilt. And in true fashion, I tried to cook up a better solution. So I've got this old Ford carburetor off of a Pinto. So let's see what else. It's a dual stage 2-barrel. So it's actually very similar to an old Weber 3248 or 2832 carburetor. You actually have a dual or primary and secondary butterfly valve and injector or jet. Anyway, so because why not? We're going to figure out how to Frankenstein this onto our GT6 motor. Hopefully it'll give us a little bit more performance. So these are actually leftover parts from a velocity stack tangent that I went down a while ago. So I have a bunch of scraps of aluminum tubing that I have pressed a bell into to make velocity stacks for like intake manifold or whatever. So I've already dimensioned and cut a test plate that matches the bottom of our carburetor. So like so. So that part is pretty well figured out. I did a rough computer model of the design that I've been toying with. I did a rough dimension, and by rough dimension I put a piece of paper on there and scribbled it like you do with a crayon when you're a kid, and plugged that in the computer. I got a close approximation, and so revision 2, I actually made 2 versions. One that was a lot closer to our port, and another that had oversized holes that would actually allow me to insert my tubing here, and then I can get a nice clean fusion weld here, and then kind of surface it off with an abrasive. That way I get this nice clean fitment on the other side. This is all 1/8 inch aluminum. When I do it for real, it'll probably be 1/4 inch aluminum. I do love aluminum. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now, is we're going to be kind of mocking up these tubes. They'll have a backing plate, so we'll actually utilize the velocity stack inside the manifold. As I've been roughing out my design, our center tubes are probably going to kick down at an angle so that the carburetor can sit a little bit lower than where these sat, and hopefully I can, kick these side tubes in at a little angle, kick these down, and build a custom plenum that should give me decent flow. Performance-wise, it's a total crapshoot. I'll probably put these in a box and hang on to them, because if this goes down in flames, I can always go through these, clean them up, and throw them back on, and they'll work. But the 67 Triumph Spitfire that I have, that I'm sure you'll see at some point in the game, had one of these carburetors on it, and we had lots of bad experiences. So that's kind of the plan going forward. performance-wise, it's a total crapshoot.